Tonight I'm going to show you how I built my own range hood and hopefully give you some ideas about how you can build your own too. In order to save some money on our kitchen remodel, I decided that the range hood cover was something that I could make myself. So I planed down some rough sawn walnut and made a frame that would fit the vent hood insert. This inner frame is what supports the weight of the insert. I wanted the outer frame to look sturdy, so I planed down some 6/4 or 1.5 inch walnut lumber and then used a duplication trick which involved taping two boards together. That way I can cut and sand them together and get the same profile on each board. I drilled 2 counterbores on each end to hide the fasteners and then hid those heads with a dowel. These dowels actually became a cool accent on the side. The top of the range hood is just a basic 2x4 box with a cross brace to be able to screw up into the ceiling joint. The diagonal braces coming down from the top frame support the insert weight and create the angle for the panels. Many people don't know that you can actually buy a vent hood insert and then put it inside whatever cover that you buy or make. This allows you to have a custom look on the outside while still functioning the same on the inside. This insert was mounted up in place with some L brackets along the front and the sides, and then on the back I just screwed a couple screws through the sheet metal into the frame behind it. We initially installed this with the flexible ducting that came with the vent hood insert. However, after the inspector came and took a look at it, turns out we had to change it to rigid ducting because of the codes in our area. So make sure you check the local codes before you do this. For the panels on the front, I resawed some black walnut into 3/16 strips and then arranged them into a herringbone pattern, trying to highlight the different color variations on each piece. Each piece was then slathered with wood glue, but I left a few open spots on the back of each board for some CA glue to act as kind of a clamping force until the wood glue dried. I still ended up putting some additional weights on it though as it dried. The flush trim bit on my router then cleaned up all the edges. The bottom edge though needed a 24-degree angle to be able to sit flush against the bottom board. After a good sanding on each piece, I stuffed in some insulation around the ducting to try and dampen the fan noise a bit. I'm not sure it actually helped, but hey, I tried. To attach the panel, I used silicone because it's pretty sticky and it actually holds stuff together very well. I also added some pin nails going into the diagonal braces to lock things in place. For the top of the range hood, I ripped down a walnut board and mitered the corners so it would fit exactly around the 2x4 frame. To hide the corners of the panels, I covered them with some mitered strips of walnut. These were glued together and held with my favorite clamping method, blue tape. The bottom and top of these corners had to be cut at compound angles to be able to sit flat on the boards along the bottom. After adding some glue to hold these in place, I also pin nailed the corner pieces to the panels. For all of these crazy angles, I used one tool to measure them all. It was my plastic Starrett angle gauge. I've talked about this in a previous video, but this thing is super convenient and it's very reasonably priced. If you're interested, I've got a link in the description below. My finish of choice for this piece and any of my walnut pieces is currently Osmo Pollux oil because it's so convenient and so gorgeous on walnut. Now, in order to tie this design into the rest of the kitchen, I did the same walnut herringbone pattern underneath the island. This brought the whole design together and added some great character for the island. My kitchen remodel is now complete. Now let's go see if this thing actually sucks. Go build something and we'll see you next time.